Remember a year ago or so when Mr. Beast's assistant suddenly decided to come out as trans overnight and it ignited a huge conversation online?
It won't sound perfect. It probably will get picked on a little bit, but that's kind of what I like doing, is showing people the the rawness of it.
And what's no one talking about? What about your wife and kid?
Hey guys, and welcome to Mika Reaction Reviews. We're reaction reviews to things on the internet. Same day, same shirt, different video. And today I want to talk about two things. So there's trans widows. That's been going around. Lauren Sutherland made a video, a really interesting video about it. How there's these anonymous groups or these groups online, Facebook or Reddit or whatever, of women coming together and talking about their testimonies of basically being widowed because their husband decided to transition.
Trans widow. That's what they're calling these people now. It's a increasingly popular phenomenon, so much so that there has been an entire website dedicated to it called transwidows.com, and on its About section it says, a trans widow is a woman whose male partner or husband believes that they have a gender identity other than man, or who cross-dresses. Often women also report having experienced that their husband or partner has autogynephilia. Women in this situation report feeling like their male partner has died. This is particularly the case if their partner or husband came out as trans and decided to ultimately transition. The transformation is usually so complete that their partner is unrecognizable as the man they married, both in looks and in personality. The woman will be forbidden from calling her husband by his previous dead name. Women in this situation need a label to gather around and to identify with. Trans widow is the name that we have chosen, and it is enabling us to find one another.
And some of these women actually believe that the only reason why their husbands marry them is so they can study them and study their behavior. That a lot of women are putting sort of side-by-side pictures of them and their husbands after transition, and they look scarily the same. It's like someone trying to embody you or something. It's really really weird.
In which women are now reporting not just being trans widows, but that perhaps their entire marriage from the start was a sham in order for their partners to study them and study female behavior. Ask a Trans Widow on Twitter posted an insane thread recently in which she said, my ex intimidated me. He mimicked my mannerisms and laugh. He copied my hairstyle and hair color. Even his nose job looks similar to my nose. He wore my clothes. He used to watch me while I did my makeup. I just thought we were talking until I read in his messages about how he watched me to learn. He told several people he was the kid's mom and he gave birth to them, having been able to get pregnant by donated sperm. Apparently, I am a lesbian. Nobody told me, except his crazy therapist once. You gotta love those really healthy therapists. Oh my goodness. He recounted every detail of my deliveries as if he did it. And she posts a picture, me on the left, him on the right here. He got bangs cut shortly after my pic on the left was taken.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
I guess it's like another version of having a beard, like a gay man being with a woman as a beard, as a disguise of his homosexuality or his homosexual desires or what have you. And so these women are basically grieving and angry, grieving of the loss of their marriage and grieving the loss of their husbands, and angry because they feel like they've basically been duped and tricked into making a life with someone who probably knew beforehand that they wanted to transition or they were trans. It's the same thing as someone marrying a woman, making a life with a woman when they find out, when they knew beforehand that they were gay. And a lot of times the spouses of these people, whether it's man or woman, are expected to kind of just take it on the chin, and not only take it on the chin, but smile and call their ex-husbands and wives heroes, and sometimes even stand by them, stay married to them as proof that they're actually really open-minded and super progressive, and it doesn't matter what their genitalia looks like, what gender they are. I love them for them. And kind of, if people don't stick with their spouses or have a hard time accepting it or feel angry or feel mad or feel betrayed, it's almost like as that they're the baddie, that they're the bad person for not just accepting their spouse's new identity or sexuality or what have you, and no one's taken in consideration. In fact, this woman, literally woman or man, sacrificed years of their life because they signed a contract thinking that they were going to invest a lifelong together with this person, but it was based on a lie.
Here's something else I've noticed, and these are a few small examples, but I'm sure there are some wider ones. But you've had some recent prominent examples in the last few years of married men who have children deciding they want to be women, What is the mainstream society's response to that? Yay, stunning,
Yeah,
brave,
wasn't it
amazing.
Mr.
You live
Beast,
your truth.
married man, has a beautiful little boy, I think, and now he's out dressing as a woman, saying, I'm a woman now.
And what's no one talking about? What about your wife and kid? Like, it's just
wasn't there a video he put up? He was putting high heels on his son.
I don't
his
know.
3-year-old son. He's now cross-dressing his 3-year-old
But
son.
the first person,
but the whole internet's like, yay!
That's what I'm saying, right? The response. There's no thought of like, wait, what about the kid? What about the people impacted by this thing? It's just no. You live your truth. You be selfish. You like look. If you're gonna go do that, like at least have the decency to be single and not be involving other people and your children and whatever.
Everything's about consent with the left, right? A woman would say that it's a sexual assault if a man lies about his finances and she sleeps with him and she finds out later that he's actually broke, but she would have never consented to have sex with him if she always knew he was broke. So that's still a form of sexual assault. But purposely marrying someone when you know that you're not straight, or purposely marrying someone you know eventually you would transition and you leave that person in the dark, how is that just not another form of not consenting? You're not allowing that person to have informed consent of what they're getting themselves into, and I think that's wrong. I actually followed someone. It was a husband and a wife who had a travel channel, and I used to follow them, and all of a sudden they disappeared, and then she came back and she basically was like, and this was like a Christian couple too, like they went to church and stuff like that. And yeah, I feel bad for people who grew up in church or religious communities and they feel like they can't be who they are and they feel pressured to have a beard or lie about their sexuality or lie about their identity. I have a personal story about that I'm not going to get into. It's not about me, but it's about someone I'm very close to who got into a bearded type of marriage, and yeah, it really fucked her over. I have empathy for people who can't truly be who they are because they live in a religious community. However, that doesn't really give you the right to fuck over someone else's life and drag them into your drama and into your situation. And so yeah, this Christian couple, the wife talked about how devastated she was and how she had no idea and she had to literally start her whole life all over again. She was really sad and depressed. And then you go over to her husband's, who's now a trans woman, YouTube page, because they end up having separate YouTube channels, and he's living she's living their best life. They're living their best life, and everyone's queening them and oh my god, you're so brave, la da da. And it's like, you fucked over this woman. Like, why are people allowed to fuck over people or gaslight people or lie to people or cheat and all this stuff in their relationships and their marriage, and that's seen as a bad thing if the person's cis and heterosexual, but it's seen as a brave thing if you're gay or trans. I'm not saying that it doesn't take courage to come out of the closet or courage to embrace your identity, but at the same time, it's like we have to acknowledge that it's also like a really shitty thing to do to another human being. And not only is you have these trans widows, but you also have children who's losing a father or losing a mother, and again, these kids are just expected to embrace it and no one cares. It's the same thing we've been talking about for a while when it comes to erasing women and taking over women's spaces and trying to change people's language. Like, they're trying to change an entire Spanish language because the Spanish language is gendered. Instead of saying Latino or Latina, Latinx, like trying to change a whole language. Like, everyone's expected to bend over backwards for you, but nobody cares how it's affecting other people or how it might be harming other people or inconveniencing other people. But anyway, guys, I ran out of memory, obviously, so I'm going to go. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And if you'd like to support the channel even further, you can donate. My PayPal and Cash App link is in the comment section below. And you can super thanks. And you guys have an amazing, beautiful day. Bye!